right. So we have another member question, and it is from Amy from our Lake Norman location. And she asks, staying fit over 40, how to maintain and train smarter. So I will admit I'm not over 40, so I can't speak to personal experience, but I'm a big believer that age is just a number. And I have watched people over 40, over 50, over 60, even over 70 work out at Burn. And so we can talk a little bit about, what you would look out for, maybe how you're going to be feeling. And then again, how you can talk to your trainer about what you need to modify and make sure that they know how you're feeling as you are aging. So Devin, what do you got for us, trainer?
I know Amy, and Amy is an absolute animal in the gym.
She's a beast.
An absolute animal. So shout out to Amy. And I'll take the perspective on this question that I think was meant for her, because I know her individually. And I think, Amy, the answer to your question is staying fit over 40, how to maintain and get better, stronger, faster, but smarter to stay in the field more and to be on the sidelines injured less. I think it's really important to get acutely aware of your mind-muscle connection. Like when you're lifting weights, breathing through the muscle, putting the mental energy that you have into the muscle, almost visualizing the contraction, almost actually visualizing the muscle fibers contracting and lengthening, and start to really make that connection. The connection will always be there, just inherently, the mind-body connection. But if you can actually take that to the next level, to the point where let's just use a simple example, like you're at the top of a curl and you're so concentrated on it that the slightest deviation in your wrist, you can feel how that actually manipulates the muscle belly, and you can actually see it. And now if you look down at your bicep and rotate your wrist, what I'm really saying, not to be too nerdy, is that you're gaining a deeper sense of proprioception, your body's awareness in space and in time. And you want to take that from like the whole body holistically. When most of us like start squatting when we're in our late teens, we look like baby giraffe. And then by the time we're 30, we look solid and we look like we know what we're doing. Our body gets more aware of itself over time. So all you're doing is taking that from a less global perspective and putting that more in a local perspective. So it's the mind-muscle connection, and that's going to help you lift heavier. When you lift heavier, you utilize your food, your protein for protein synthesis more. You gain muscle. When you gain muscle, your basal metabolic rate goes up. The calories that you burn at rest, when your calories that you burn at rest go up, now that sugar that you slip up on every once in a while at night gets metabolized more easy, and it doesn't become something that you have to feel so guilty about, which makes your emotional health better, and it just cascades. There's a whole pathology to that. So that's what I would be working on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think it is important that you do maintain that strength, because, you talk so much about, as you do grow older, just the bone health and having that muscle, having that metabolism like you talked about. And I think so many people do get afraid at that age and then think they need to do something different, and they need to do something that's tailored towards older women or men. And I would encourage you to keep doing burn, like keep getting in the ring, because we can modify as we need to, or you can take some of those tips that Devin talked about. But it's even more important for you to take care of your body and build that strength up as you age.
Yeah. My dad he's been now a member for, I would say, 5 or 6 months. I've been going to Burn for 8 years. Obviously I work here. I talk about it, and he just recently started going. He's 64. He might be 65. He might be 63. Sorry, Dad, if I made you older than you are. But he feels so much better. So I think it's just to your point, like it's okay if you start even at 60.
Yeah.
Like he hadn't been working out since he was a professional race car driver, had a trainer, but then took like 25 years off. And then now he's back and he's feeling stronger than ever. So I just think to your point, age is just a number, but you have to listen to your body and making sure you're doing things that are right for you.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom's a member. She's 64. Your mother-in-law's a member.
Yeah.
I won't tell. I don't know Lisa's age. We won't say
60.
that. My mom won't mind.
Low.
Yeah. But yeah, it's something that this is a program that's fit for all. Yeah. So
another tip that I would give Amy, and this is true for most people in the gym, we prioritize strengthening over lengthening, and the injury rate, the injury probability goes way up if you don't lengthen. right? If you're only strengthening all the time. And so like,
recovering.
yeah, and your body's going to get tighter and tighter and
Yeah.
tighter and tighter and tighter. And by the time you're like late 30s, early 40s, if you've been training for a decade, you're going to have some injuries if you're not lengthening. So for most of us out there, I know, don't try to kid me. You act like you're stretching. You ain't stretching. You're not stretching. You got to do yoga. That's Burn Motion on demand, get a membership on demand, do yoga in your local community, find something online. We have solutions because we want to have solutions for you, but there's a lot of solutions to lengthen out there, and do it and take it seriously and focus on creating more space inside of your body to grow more muscle and to feel like you're more flexible, especially in the hips. And our hips and our hip flexors is where we carry so much stress and so much energy. I could get all like spiritual with the chakra centers that are down there and everything in the perineum, up to the stomach and everything. It's not something you want to take lightly. You store a lot of negative energy down there, and when you open it up, I mean, Rachel has told us that she's seen people cry because they sit in a pigeon for 4 minutes.
It releases stress and trauma.
You just hold it, and it's just so powerful. So do not underestimate lengthening. Strengthen and lengthen, especially as you approach your 40s.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Amy, for your question. All right, we're going to get on to another topic here, keeping nutrition on track while vacation. So Devan started to talk about some of the tips that the Kline family uses, but we've got summer in full swing here. It's almost 4th of July, so we understand families are traveling, and there's a lot of holidays, and like Trish, you said, kids are out of school, so things are a little bit more laid back, and maybe you're out more, but how can you maintain that healthy diet and make sure that you're still nourishing your body while you're on the road and on vacation? So what are some tips that we do, Devan?
Well, I talked about the protein pack.
Yep.
I take for me, it's more of an attitude. When I go on a vacation, I have an attitude that's a predetermined attitude. And I'm like, I'm going to kill it with my health on this. I'm not going to miss a day working out. I'm going to be a protein hunter every time we go somewhere. I'm going to find the protein. I will seek you out. I will find you, knowing that everywhere you go has a kitchen. Chick-fil-A has a kitchen. The restaurant down the road has a kitchen. Applebee's has a kitchen. Most of those kitchens have salad, if not all of them. You can find good food everywhere. It is not that you can't find it. It's that you don't want to feel like you made the bad choice, so you blame it on the restaurant and the external circumstances that you're in, that they can't prepare the food for you, but deep down in your soul that they can. So you have to take an attitude into it and have this predetermination that I'm going to have an intention and that I'm going to execute against that intention. And we pack the supplement that I mentioned, the supplement bag. I won't repeat that. But then we also have usually like a gas station run somewhere in there where it's just like beef jerky, cashews. What else do we do? Like
just big waters.
Just a bunch of
I
protein.
always pack a kid's snack bag too. And then when we get somewhere, we always try to do like a grocery run or grocery delivery. I like to keep a lot of fruit on hand and just like basic stuff so we can at least have breakfast at the house or breakfast in the hotel. So it's not eating out every single meal. First of all, that's expensive, but also then that adds up of like not feeling good. And if I feel like bloated midway through my vacation, that's no fun. Yeah. So I always try to, as I'm going into vacation, correlate this is not a time for me to just go off the deep end on every meal, because you're not going to feel good at the end of it. So the more you can make it convenient for yourself, those are the best tips I have. Just make it convenient where you can, the beautiful thing about this world is we have a thing called Shipt or Uber Eats or whatever, and I always do like a big grocery run. I'll usually actually place the order before our flight takes off. So it's going to be ready. So those are my tips because we travel a lot.
For me, I'll just chime in on the protein. I think I would say 10 years ago, I maybe just didn't plan. And I would go in and I would be like, it's almost like, I don't know why my mentality was like, I can eat whatever I want. I'm going to have nachos and I'm going to have dessert. And then to your point, you feel like crap because my body wasn't maybe used to eating that. And then just those foods, like the processed foods just sitting in my stomach. I didn't end up enjoying the way I was feeling. So now, I've educated myself. I know my body a little bit more. I know that if I can prioritize protein, it makes me fuller, faster, longer. So it keeps you satiated, which is a big tip for me. Is not only do I want to hit my protein goals, but I know it's going to fill me up to where I'm not going to then want to go snack.
Binge on nachos.
Yeah, I actually maybe have like one or two, but I'm like full because I prioritize my protein, and then also water, making sure that you guys G's and C's, right?
Yeah.
G's and Z's. I always say C's.
I know Devin said C's a couple times too.
It's hard. Yeah.
Z's.
G's, your 100 grams of protein.
ZG.
And your water.
Yeah.
And then I think from there, like when I'm going on vacation, if I can just keep those two things in mind, then I'm usually set myself up for success. But I think you do need to mentally prepare first. I never called it an attitude before, and I think I might steal that from you.
You like that?
I do
it's
like
an
that.
attitude?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it too.
The water thing too, one other tip is, because I'm bad at drinking the same amount of water on vacation. So if I can like take my Stanley or take my, hydro jug, or just a jug where it's like, it reminds me that I need to fill that up the same way I do when I'm at home.
Yep.
You're still not getting the same water intake because your family's drinking your water.
True.
That's
very
noticed.
true. My 3 kids are with me and they're drinking
I'm always
it.
prepared and they are not.
Yes, true.
Yeah. No, we pack snack. I like the attitude because you're thinking ahead and looking out for your future self. But especially when we fly, everybody gets like a gallon Ziploc lock bag, and it's nuts and it's jerky and it's healthy options just to get you through the flight, and then after the flight. And if you don't do that, then you're stuck. You're at the mercy of the airport, and a bag of jerky is like $15 to $20.
It's like triple the amount of
money.
money.
When you've got a family, it gets to be expensive, or you want to buy the candy and the chips and whatever. So we definitely try to do that, and then just being proactive and looking at the restaurants and things like that before we go.
Yeah, I with the 3 kids, we have this little like snack. Like you push the button and it twirls.
It's like a round snackle box.
Yeah, it's like a
I was
snackle
gonna
box.
say snackle box, TikTok.
But it's like a round one, and it's cool. It's like automated. Not automated, but you know what I mean. And so then what I've started to do with the kids is like before our trip, I'll let them pick out a couple snacks at the house or even at the grocery store that they wouldn't normally get. But we avoid the convenience store where they want all the things. And so that's helped us with the kids as well. Because they have a trigger that, we're on vacation. We can get all the things.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's just, speaking of attitude, there's an attitude toward vacation in general that is just societally there, that if you don't control your own attitude, then you're just going to latch onto the societal attitude, which I've seen kill so much progress as a trainer, by the way. Like somebody working hard for 6, 7, 8 months, and then they full send on vacation, right? Like think about it this way. I actually wrote a line or two about this in Stop Starting Over, my first book. It's you don't go on vacation and you don't sell your house. Like you leave it temporarily, but you don't like go on vacation, stay somewhere else and sell your house. Like, and that's just as much shelter and food are both essential human needs. So you don't get to sell your dietary habits when you go on vacation. If you go on vacation and you do a full send, right? And that stuff's coming back with you.
Yeah.
Right? You can't sell the nutrition habits back home.
Yeah.
And you're going to come back to that. So I like to use language very intently, because I think the lack of intentional language is the effect to a lot of causes and outcomes people don't like. So we'd like to just say modify a healthy diet rather than I'm going to go on vacation and I've been good for so long. I'm gonna have some fun.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, I only live once. It's like,
I think looking at it like moms say when we take the kids and we call it a relocation.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not a vacation.
Yeah.
We're just relocating our home temporarily.
Same habits. We're just relocating.
Well, and I think if you are somebody that has worked so hard to adapt those healthy habits, and you maybe don't have that discipline to switch a flip, like. You'll come back and you'll do the same things. Yeah. You'll continue the eating out. You'll continue the bad habits because you just fell right back into that trap, and it's even harder to get out. So I think that's just something to be cautious of too. If you're somebody that's worked really hard to stop eating all the processed food, like the minute you do it, your body's mentally, you're going to be like, I want this. It's so good. Yeah. So, all right. And then also guys, if you're working out, remember we've got road trip. So check that out on our app, on our on-demand library. Again, those are 6 workouts, 3 conditioning, 3 strength, and then 1 recovery video. So you are taken care of, limited equipment, And that way you can stay on track.
Burn on demand.
Burn on demand.
Download the Burn Boot Camp app.